Hi, how are you? This is Belen Diaz and you're watching the E-volve show. And today I'm super excited because we're going to be talking about a subject that I was not familiar with it at all. It's called EFT and it's better known as tapping. So it's a technique to relieve emotions and let go of negative sensations that your body has been holding on. I think it's super interesting. And we have Michele Santo to tell us all about it. Michele Santo is a health coach that supports mostly women to tap into their power through EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. Hi, Michele, how are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for being here. I'm super excited about this conversation because as we were talking before starting recording, I'm not familiar with this subject. So I'm very excited to bring this to all of you guys who are watching today so you can learn new things, new techniques to improve your life, feel better about yourself. So Michele, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what is exactly what you do?
Well, my name is Michele Santo. I'm a women's EFT coach from New Jersey, and I help highly sensitive women just like let go of anxiety and help them rewire more like empowering thoughts about who they are, what's possible for them. And we do this through a unique process called tapping.
Interesting. That's so cool. And I was like, before getting into the tapping, I want to mention because I was reading on your website and you mentioned that, and right now you say it again, like sensitive, is it sensitive woman? No, highly sensitive woman. Can you explain a little bit what is that, or like how can I identify myself as one of them, or like maybe not? Like, what is it?
I think highly sensitive people make up like 20% of the population. So we are like a unique group. And I didn't know that I was highly sensitive until I was in my 20s. I was going to the Institute for Integrative Nutrition at the time, and they just gave us a bunch of books. And one of them was, it was a book about being an HSP. And I remember reading all of the attributes of a highly sensitive person, and I'm like, yeah, okay, sensitive to light and noise, me, cannot watch violent material, me. um just I don't know, like you notice people's like micro expressions, and I'm very intuitive, so I can be in a room with you and kind of know how you're feeling before you even talk to me. Or I can, as you know, I develop relationships with my clients, I kind of have an idea just from sensing what they need before they even know that they need it. Yeah, that we just pick up more information than someone who's not highly sensitive.
Yeah.
So that can cause you to feel overwhelmed or drained at the end of the day. Yeah, I hope that made sense.
Yeah, totally. It's just so interesting because I feel like sometimes we don't realize that we are all so different, right? So
Mhm.
sometimes like I will be like super outgoing and this and that and talking to people, and I have a friend that she was like more shy and I couldn't understand. I was like, oh yeah, we're going to this party or we're going to this networking, and she was like, no, 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 I don't want to go. And she actually had a hard time. So
Mhm.
actually having that friend, it made me realize, oh, no, everybody likes to go with other people and have a big group of women people and all these things, you know? So it's very interesting. Like, it kind of like seeing that perspective from her, it helped
Mhm.
me to realize, oh, I am different, you know, like we are all different. And also to see like what you're saying, like what serves you is different than what serves other people. Like some things affects you different. Like for me, like I don't like to be at home, I prefer to be outside, or like when I meet with a friend, instead of being like just one-on-one, I'm always like, oh yeah, we're meeting, you should come. Oh, we're meeting, you should come. And then my friends are like, well, I was supposed to be just you and me. And I was like, oh, I thought it's fine, you know, like the more the merrier. But it's
Right.
so interesting to see that, yeah, like we are all different, and just to be conscious about it. So when we interact with other people, we can, what you say, like feel the other person like better. So I guess like that's what you are saying. For high sensitive people, you guys are more like, you sense, it's like an intuition, right?
I think so. I think that different people, receive information in different ways, and you'll learn how to manage it. But I know, like, highly sensitive people, they do best when they have at least like 1 or 2 nights a week of like downtime just by themselves,
Mhm.
just to relax and unwind, and maybe do tapping or journaling or painting or even just watching a show, you know,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
just restoring your energy.
totally. So how all of this started? Was it since you start doing, because you say you were studying nutritionist, and then you read this book, and then you were like, okay, I need to help people like me. Like how all of this business started for you?
It's like it's like a roundabout journey, kind of. It's never like a straight line, but
Oh, it's
I
never.
would say the coolest thing about going to IIN, Institute for Integrative Nutrition, is it completely opened my world to personal development. So once that was like 2007, 2008, it was like a complete journey into who Michele was, what I feared, what I wanted to develop in myself, what were my dreams, you know, were certain voices or messages that I was receiving, were they society or were they really mine? So in that, time period, I did so many different tools, and I was so excited to just improve my life and be successful. And I loved studying, successful people. So I tried everything from, positive affirmations to journaling. I even went to therapy. I hired life coaches. I was meditating, I was visualizing, I was cleaning up my diet. I did sound healing, Reiki, all these wonderful things. And some of these tools I still use to this day, but nothing truly changed my life until I tried EFT.
Nice. So do you want to tell us what exactly is EFT?
Sure. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, and it's exactly what it sounds like, but you might see it online called tapping. And you are literally tapping on these acupuncture points. So if you went to the acupuncturist, these are the points that they would stick a needle in to access. There's like meridian lines or circuits inside the body that run energy to certain systems in your body. And if you have like an unsettling memory, if you had a bad experience, if you had a small trauma, being like, somebody looked at you the wrong way and you were like, what was that? Or
Mm-hmm.
you had, a big capital T trauma, like going through cancer or being in a car accident, this stress actually gets stored inside our body, and it can cause you to like freeze and like not move forward with your life. So EFT is part like positive psychology, it's part neuroscience because you're accessing the brain, and it's part energy healing.
Wow, that's
So it's
good.
really amazing. And I know that it looks funny because you're literally like tapping on your head and you're like, okay, how is this actually doing anything?
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until I took a program online and I enjoyed it. And then I said, I want to go deeper with this because I couldn't believe that I had such a fast energy
Mm-hmm.
shift from tapping just with a recording. I
Mm-hmm.
said, I want to work with someone one-on-one because I do best with individual attention. And
Yeah,
I found people through Facebook groups and we just started tapping together. And that's when the magic like unfolded for me, to have
nice.
someone to like hold space for you and like actually go into your individual story and realize that you could just unravel what really happened, or the story that you made things, you might make something mean something that it really wasn't you
So it's
know
kind of like a mechanism to tap into your energy so you can let go of things, right? That have been
Yes.
started change your body.
Yes. It's amazing. Yeah.
And then what it makes you feel like more uplift, or like it just depends of everybody. Like I guess everybody will have a different reaction.
It feels like you definitely feel calmer, you feel lighter, you feel more empowered,
Mm-hmm.
like around like what's possible for you. EFT is really good for so many different things. It lowers your blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
It will lower the stress, like cortisol response in the body. It improves your immunity. It improves productivity. But when you're actually tapping on these points, and I'll go over them with you in a minute, you're
Mm-hmm.
actually sending a calming signal to the amygdala in the brain. And the amygdala is just like this little almond shaped part of the brain that's responsible for the fight or flight response. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, totally. It's funny
Yeah.
you mentioned it because we were talking about that with another coach in another session. Because we
Yeah.
were talking about stress relief. So it's like
Mhm.
that fight or flight reaction, right? But I will love if you wanna talk a little bit about it.
Oh, sure. Um, right, like in these modern times, life is so demanding, and especially right now with what's going on in the world, you really need an outlet to like let go of these stresses. And, studies have shown that tapping is about 55% more effective than talk therapy alone because you're actually changing something about your physiology.
Nice.
You're literally like letting go of the negative energy, you're letting go of the stress, and you're allowing yourself to rewire these neural pathways in the brain, and change will happen. Like the more you tap, the faster the transformation will happen.
Wow. That is so cool. I'm so excited. So shall we try a session right now?
Sure. Yeah.
Let's do
I'll
it.
just go over the tapping points just so you guys know. So normally you see the side of your hand here.
Mhm.
They call that like the karate chop point. So you would just take 3 fingers on your right hand, or it doesn't matter which side, and you would start on here. And then from here, we would go to the eyebrow. So it's right where your hair starts on your eyebrow. And then you're going to go to your temples on the side of your eye. And then you're going to tap underneath your eyeball, so like right on your cheeks.
Mhm.
Then you're going to move under your nose. So it's like the little divot between your nose and your lip. And you can tap with 2 fingers. Some people tap with their hand like this. And then you'll tap on your chin. So it's not directly on your chin, it's like on the cleft in between the
Mhm.
bottom lip and your chin. And then you would go to the collarbone point. So right here is your collarbone, but then it's like a few inches down. And there's a lot of points in this area, so I always just tap in a circle. And it's very forgiving. You can't get it wrong. You will always be doing it right.
Mhm.
And then the point is under the arm. So wherever your armpit is, it's about like a hand's distance down, kind of like where your bra line is for women. And then one of my favorite points is it's the liver point. It's right on your rib cage area. So wherever your ribs like stick out the most in front, usually on the top,
Mhm.
just tap the bone there. And then from there, you go to the top of the head. So you can tap on the top of the head. You can tap on the sides of the head. You could even tap on the back of the head, all around. And when you tap on the points on the head, um, you're balancing like the left and right hemisphere of the brain. Now, I will say that what was I going to say? Okay, so I just did want to mention there's something called off-gassing. So as you're tapping, you may notice these sensations in your body, and they're actually a good thing. So you might feel warm or like a temperature change. You
Mhm.
might cry, and that's actually a good thing because it means you're moving the energy. You might fart, you might burp. You might feel dizzy, you might get really intense emotions, but, try to do your best to just breathe through it because you're actually, processing all the old stuck emotions so that, energy can flow freely again.
Yeah, wow. That is so cool. I think it's so interesting. As I told you, like I heard about it, but I've never really actually do it myself for a session. So it's like,
Uh-huh.
what will be your tips for people to start getting introduced to these techniques? It's like doing like, is this like a guided kind of like a session?
Hmm.
How does that work? How can people start getting into this practice?
Well, I would say it's always nice to read about it. There's so many people on YouTube. I just started putting up videos on YouTube so people can learn.
Mhm.
Um, I started like a monthly tapping circle just for women only,
Mhm.
just so people can come together as a group. And I do lead them in a guided EFT session. And I like to pick a different theme each month based on what I think the world might need. But if you know that you want more support and you want to work with somebody one on one, find somebody that you feel like you resonate with because it's really special work. It's life changing.
Yeah. And I bet like it's something like you talk to yourself where you do these things. I'm just curious because I've just
Oh yes,
never,
yes.
I'm
We're
like,
not just tapping on ourselves.
so there is
So
more into it. So it's like you're tapping into yourself, but then you're saying some affirmations or some things into
yes.
your, okay.
So at the beginning of every session, I have people say, they're tuning into their body and they're thinking about what is the most pressing issue for me right now. We might have like 3 or 5 things that we want to change in our life, but think of the one thing that's like bubbling up to the surface that you want to change. It's like irritating you, right? So
Yeah.
when you identify whatever that is, then you will rate the intensity of how you feel. So let's say, I don't know, do you have anything that you want to work on?
Not right now. Nothing I can think about
Okay.
it.
Okay, so let's say you wanted to make more money in your business and you're
Sure.
feeling like I'm a little stuck. I think we can all relate to this. So if you think about, how intense does that feel that I want to make money? I'm feeling a little stuck. I'm not sure what to promote or focus on. So you think about how intense it feels on a scale of 0, where it doesn't bother you at all, and a scale of 10, where like you can't sleep at night. So you always rate your issue at the beginning of the session. So
Mhm.
let's just give it a 7.
Do we
All
do a
right.
5 minute session? Would you do
Sure.
like a 5 minute session? I think it's going to be very interesting to just do it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Now I usually incorporate essential oils. So if you have oils, you could always, put them on. I have my um, frankincense here. I'll just put it on my wrists, rub it together, and then we'll just take 3 grounding breaths in through your nose. So if you're breathing in the oil, go for it. If not, just take a deep breath in through your nose and sigh out through your mouth. Another deep breath in through your nose and let it go. One more deep breath in and let it go. All right, so we'll start tapping on the karate chop point. And if anything I say doesn't suit your story, feel free to change the words, okay? All
Mm-hmm.
right, so even though 2020 was a really hard year, so you'll repeat after me.
Okay, sorry. Even though 2020 was not a good year,
I appreciate all that it taught me.
I appreciate all that is on me.
Even though last year was so unexpected,
Even though last year was so unexpected,
I'm open to loving and accepting myself.
I am accepting, I forgot.
It's okay. I'm open to loving
I'm
and
open
accepting
to
myself.
loving myself.
Even though there's some things I want to forget about,
Even though there is things that I want to forget about,
I'm ready to let it all go.
I'm ready to let it all go.
All right, tap on your eyebrow point.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I hear myself saying,
Sometimes I hear myself saying,
if we were focusing on, wanting to make more money, you would just insert however you feel about that issue. Is there anything that you can think of?
sure, I would love to make more money on my business.
Okay. I'm excited about this new goal.
I'm excited about this new goal.
All right, tap on the side of your eye right by your temple.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel this to a number of a 7.
I feel this until the number 7.
All right, tap under your eye. I've been wanting this for a really long time.
I've been wanting this for so long, a long time.
And tap under your nose. And sometimes last year made me feel stuck.
Sometimes last year makes me feel stuck.
Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. All right, tapping on your chin point.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel bummed to think about all the things I lost.
It makes me feel bummed that I lost all the things that I want.
And I hear myself saying it's time to go for something bigger.
And I hear myself saying it's time to go for something bigger.
Right, tap on your collarbone point, and
Mm-hmm.
it makes me feel so excited.
And it makes me feel so excited.
I'm open to forgiving myself.
I'm open to forgiving myself.
Okay. All right, tap under your arm.
Mm-hmm.
So this thought, I would like to be more prosperous.
I would love to be more prosperous.
All right, tap on your rib cage area. I do believe it's possible,
I do believe it's possible,
but I'm just not sure where to start.
but I'm not sure where to start.
All right, tap on the top of your head. I'm open to releasing these negative thoughts.
I'm open to release these negative thoughts.
All right, tap on your eyebrow point. Let's just repeat that again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm open to releasing these negative thoughts.
I'm open to release those negative thoughts.
All right, tap on the side of your eye. They do not define me.
They do not define me.
Whatever happened in the past is over.
Whatever happens in the past is over.
Tap under your eye, and I am creating a whole new world.
And I am creating a whole new world.
All right, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Okay, tap under your nose.
Mm-hmm.
I may have picked up this limited thought from, and fill in the blank.
Pick up this thought from my parents, for example.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It could be a teacher, it could be a friend. Yeah, I may have picked this up from my parents, but that's okay.
But that's okay.
All right, tap on your chin. I love and forgive myself. Sorry.
I forget myself.
Even with this pattern.
Even with this pattern.
All right, tap on your collarbone point. This thought is trying to protect me.
This thought is trying to protect me.
It's trying to protect me from failure.
It's trying to protect me from failure.
It might be protecting me from being judged or criticized.
Might be protecting me from being criticized.
And I deeply forgive myself when I hear myself saying it.
And I deeply forgive myself when I hear myself saying that.
All right, so how can we reframe this into something positive? We could say, you can tap on your head, my hard work is helping me get to more freedom.
My heart is getting me to get more freedom.
And you would, continue going through the rounds. And then at the end of the session, you would just rate how you feel on a scale of 0, to 10 again.
Nice. Well, to be honest, I already feel like kind of relaxed.
You do? Good.
Yeah. I'm like, oh. That was awesome, Michelle. Thank you so much for the session.
You're welcome.
How our audience can connect with you? How can we find you?
You can find me on my website at michelesanto.com. On Instagram, I think I'm XO Michele Santo.
Perfect.
And yeah.
Yeah. Anything you want to add to finish with this conversation?
I just want to remind you that you all have the power inside of you to feel peace, and you certainly have the ability to become whatever you want. So just declutter whatever is going on in your mind and you'll be great.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for this session and for teaching us all about EFT.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye.
Take care.